to my kitchen. Paula here, and this is the Flavorful Home. I am so grateful to all the new subscribers to my channel. I just want to say a big welcome to them, and I hope you find lots of fun things here. I do a little bit of everything. Cooking, which is my really one true love. Cooking and baking is something I've been doing for many, many years. But I also craft, and I have been crafting for a very long time. Paper crafting, and I also crochet. But recently, I've started crocheting, I don't want to call them dolls, because they're not really dolls, but I've been crocheting little figures, Christmas figures, Halloween figures, and I'll be sharing those too. But today, we have a very easy and non-intimidating recipe for pie dough. I have not bought a prepared pie crust in, it's got to be at least 9 years, easily. I used to be afraid of it, much like I used to be afraid of making bread. I just wouldn't touch it. And then I stumbled upon this recipe. It's an all butter recipe. And I said, you know what, I'm going for it. And I have not looked back. It is delicious. You will see that using extra flour when you're rolling it out is nothing to be afraid of, because you can take a pastry brush and just brush that extra flour off. Today though, it's just going to be the dough itself. In another video, we will make a pie, either apple or pumpkin, we'll see. But it is delicious and it is not hard at all. So let's get the ingredients together and get going. Alrighty friends, I have my large bowl, my scale, my flour, my butter, spatula, dough doohickey, because my brain doesn't always work and I can't remember what these are called, and a knife to cut my butter into chunks. The recipe calls for 2½ cups of flour, a tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of table salt, and 2 sticks of butter. I weigh everything. That's just for me the way to go. And I am doubling this recipe, just so you know. Okay, so let me get my, and then you zero it out so that you don't weigh the bowl too. Hey, put that down. Go on, go. Sorry about that, folks. My dog came in with her hairbrush in her mouth. Okay, so since I'm doubling it, instead of, and I'm going to tell you the grams, instead of 315 grams of flour, I will need 630. So just get that all in there. As I said, I've been using this recipe for at least 9 years, at least. A long time. Too much. It's gonna play games with me. Come on, just give me that 30. Okay. I do a little bit more sugar in it. than it calls for, because I just like the sugar in it a little bit more. Okay. It calls for 15 grams. I'm doubling it so it would be 30, but I'll do about 35 or 40 grams. Zero it out again. That's good. I did 36 grams. And you want your salt. Five grams. I'm just using table salt, so it'll be 10 grams because it's doubled. I'm using kosher salt. She says table salt, but kosher salt is fine. Alrighty. I'm going to cube my butter. And I will move this out of the way because it's not needed anymore. You want your water cold as could be. So that's why I have the ice cubes and water in the measuring cup there. And you also want your butter cold as well. So keep it in the fridge to the very last minute. And then chunk it up. Hello, Violet. Nothing here for you. You guys ate dinner already. She is looking because usually when things are being chopped, she knows it's a veggie, and so she figures she'll get a little piece of something. She loves radishes. And just sprinkle it into your flour, and actually don't do that. Before, give it a mix to blend your dries, and then put your butter in. Okay. And just get it all in there. And by the way, this is unsalted butter. Pretty much when I bake, that's all I use is unsalted. Unless a recipe specifically says use salted butter. Most don't, to be honest. Most do call for unsalted. Warming up so it wants to stick to my knife. I'm going to have to rinse my hands. And then you're going to can you believe I still can't remember what that is called? I will put it in the notes or the caption after I get over this brain fart. Let me just wash my hands real quick. I don't know, folks, when you have 6 kids, I think your brain cells start to evaporate. And that's what's going on with me. Okay. So, you're going to get a nice, I want to say pea size, texture as you work your butter into the flour mixture. Also, 2 knives work if you don't have one of these doohickeys. And I would guess even maybe your fingers if you didn't have anything else. But you really want that butter to get into that flour. I'm going to just want you right there, and I'm going to turn you down a little. Okay. We've been having some crazy weather. We went from incredibly cool, lovely fall temps to kind of creeping back up into some summer territory again here in Southern California. After a while, I love the summer, but after a while, I get tired. Once we hit the end of September, I am ready for the fall weather. Now, as you can see, it's still big chunks, so you want to keep working it, because you don't want big chunks like that. You want them a little bit on the, and use this to scrape it together, bring it to the middle. As I'm doing this, I'm trying to remember what this tool is called. It's not coming to me. Wow. My memory is really, really bad. And you'll see the butter chunks with each pass are getting less and less. Just give it a little. It's okay if you have a couple of butter chunks on the larger side, but you don't want big, giant chunks. All right, let's get all this off. There we go. This puppy has seen better days. It's kind of collapsed, and I lost the end of that, kind of broke. This is my most favorite of all rubber spatulas that I've ever had, or scrapers. That one just is awesome. All right, now, the single is a half a cup of ice cold water, not the cubes, just the water. So I'm doubling, so we're going to do a cup to start, and we'll just drizzle. You kind of start working it, and you want a nice big bowl so that you have room to maneuver, because eventually you're also going to put your hands in here once it starts coming together. And if you see it's too dry, you can add by the teaspoonful water. All right, I'm going to take my rings off and put my hands in there because I just prefer my hands. They're about the best tools God could have given me. And I'm going to take this bracelet off too. And you just squish. Give it a chance to come together. Don't be tempted to add that water because you'll be surprised. I'm also going to move you a little bit this way and turn you this way, a little bit on an angle so that I have a little bit more control. Coming in there along nicely. It's all starting to come together. And what I do is, because the holidays are coming, I don't want to be stuck on my final 2 days making crusts. I will separate these. I use my scale and weigh them out. And you see that? That is just a little bit more on the bottom. You're kind of almost, not almost, you're kind of kneading it. Weigh it to see what the total weight is, and then I separate them into even portions and wrap them in plastic. So let me get this out, get the scale back over here. I'll be back. Alrighty. Let's put this whole thing on here. So that's 1341 total. And so we are going to use, I'm using my calculator because math and me, we're not friends. Not even a little bit. Okay, so that's going to be 335, give or take, 335 grams, give or take a little bit. So I'm just going to keep that on there. And cut it. Let's see. And yes, my count is absolutely clean. A little bit more. I just got done doing a canning session making Oktoberfest. Making a mess of my floor. Oktoberfest mustard from the wonderful Carol over at Thrifty Chic Housewife. That's a little bit too much. We only want 35. All right, now we'll get our plastic wrap. And this is, I give it like a double wrap, but I'm going to use my food saver to freeze these. So I'll put them in the fridge. These are good to go. You give them about an hour to rest in the fridge, and you can actually make your pie this evening. But I'm going to let it rest, and then I will food saver them. That's one. Let's see where you're at. Oops, that says 2. We don't want that. 250. 353. And you don't have to be perfect either, just so you know. Some are going to be lattice tops. I also cut leaf shapes out of mine so that I can put decorations on my crusts. Last year I did all leaf top on my pie, and it was so pretty. And you just make a disc, and there you go. That's 2. Let's see. $2.97. Curious at what this guy is going to be. Oh, okay. It's a little bit more. We'll give him a little. Beautiful. Get my wrap. By making it a disc shape, when you put it in the fridge, it does make rolling it easier. Obviously, your weather will dictate how quickly your dough softens. So be aware of that. I make hand pies with this dough. It's just delicious. It's flaky. And there you have it. Like I said, I will pop them into the fridge. Let them firm up nicely. And then I will put them in my food saver, vacuum seal them, pop them in my freezer. I will probably do one more double, and I should be good for pies. Maybe 2 more doubles. We'll see. But when I make a pie, we will have a video of that as well. In the meantime, thank you for watching. I hope you will not let pie crusts intimidate you. Remember what I said. You can put a ton of flour on your counter, or if you use one of those measured marked sheets, and just take a pastry brush and brush that flour off. It doesn't hurt it. I will put a link to the original recipe in the description box, so check the description box and have fun with baking. There's no reason to be afraid of it, and there is just nothing like a home-baked pie. Real quick, friends, I wanted to show you how I do my vacuum sealing of my crusts. I don't unwrap them from the plastic. It's just an extra. It's not necessary, but why waste the plastic since I did wrap it? I use the smaller size bags, Let me just clean up a little. This is the smaller size, and I just put it in. Let it do its thing, and these will be good for several months once all the air is removed from them. This is one of my most favorite kitchen tools under the circumstances with how everything is increasing price-wise within days of going to the grocery store. When there's a good sale on items, I like to buy them and seal them and put them in the freezer. But this is also a great tool for being on the ball with preparing, since I don't like having to do things at the last minute for the holidays. So I just get my crust, I write what it is on the bag, and I just let the sealer do its thing. One, two, three, easy peasy. Alrighty, friends, I just wanted to come back and share this with you real quick. And when I do make my pies, I will come back and show you how I use the crusts. In the meantime, enjoy your week. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon. Till next time, friends.